College Park, Maryland, SECU Stadium, also known to some as the Snake Pit. Is there really anything better than immersing yourself in football all afternoon on a Saturday? And we continue with this one. It's the UCLA Bruins and the Maryland Terrapins. Along with David Pollack and Jesse Palmer, I'm Reese Davis. Let's go down to our sideline reporter, Holly Rowe.
Hey guys, checking in with the Bruins head coach before the game. He knew all along that this new landscape in college football would be a challenge. That's why in the Big Ten, they were preparing all along for these West Coast teams to have to travel a long way. They've been...
After 2 games at the crib at the Rose Bowl, we on the road again at College Park, Maryland. Y'all know this is a battle between 2 founding father programs. If y'all are a lot of new subscribers, so y'all don't know what the cinematic endings is, so I might have to go ahead and explain it. But UCLA and Maryland are both cinematic endings founding fathers, and they clash right now in this rebuild. This is a critical game because y'all know who we play next. We play Oregon, even though they definitely fell deep in the rankings because they wanted to go ahead and lose the Boise State to start off the year. Y'all know playing at Autzen Stadium is always going to be a challenge. Wayne Knight gets another carry, another first down, and y'all know we had an offensive showdown against Purdue. Really not a showdown. It was just an offense. It was a one-sided offensive showdown because UCLA was going crazy offensively. Probably the best game we done had offensively. Nico again takes the snap right here. I'm doing the angle smash route. Nothing's open. I go ahead, try to throw it in. It's intercepted. Maryland goes ahead, gets on the board. 24. Missed tackle by one of my guards. 24 is going to take it to the crib. Let the band play for the Terps. I told y'all this was a trap game for sure. A snake pit environment. Hey, I told a 70-yard pick six. Nico makes a terrible decision. I really just panicked and ended up panicking my way into a 70-yard house call. The Terps is not going nowhere. They only got 1 loss on the year, and really Maryland can really make some waves in the Big Ten this year. They got all the pieces, but that's picked off all the way to the crib. I told y'all it's not going to be easy, especially playing another founding father member of the cinematic endings. But y'all know Maryland has definitely been in the cinematic endings for a long time. They definitely didn't get showcased as much because when I started to really record the cinematic endings in my college football 25 gameplay, I was just starting YouTube, and I really only got them on the back half of their run because they used to have Rashad Hennessy, and he was a monster. They was even able to make the college football national championship one time, but all that was not broadcasted. That was before I started YouTube. I remember they had an upset game against Ohio State at College Park. We not trying to get upset at College Park. We don't want to feel rush at College Park. We want to go ahead and get up out of here 4-0 going into the Oregon game. Like I said, that was one of the goals, but Nico got to go ahead and clean up the turnovers. It's 30 inches right here. I don't think they expected. I'm going to go ahead and do an audible. Nobody was expecting the slot man Mizell to get a streak right there, and that's going to be a house call. That's how you answer back on a pick six. Nico immediately answers back on a 70-yard house call. Let the band play. Bruins. Mizell to the crib this time. We don't even got to celebrate. It needs to be business as usual right here on the road. We cannot celebrate. We cannot get too up and or down. Y'all know if you get too overconfident in games like these, you can definitely get upset. So we definitely on guard right now. We get a score right here to even it up. Nobody was right there. That was a great audible by me. I really thought the stadium post wasn't going to let me adjust, but they stadium post isn't good enough right now. But let the band play for the Bruins. That's how you strike back. Mizell, he might be really the slot receiver we needed for sure. He definitely has the speed, but 7-for-7 right now. And really Mizell is coming from Florida. He was really a slot receiver for them, but he wanted to be a slot receiver for the Bruins now. Halfback direct snap with Wayne Knight, blockers on blockers right now. I like the blocking. First down for the Bruins again. Hey, we definitely up to the challenge. I know Nico threw an interception through that 70-yard house call, but I think we're going to get it together. I don't think we're going to have miscues like that in the rest of this game. But founding fathers are colliding right now at College Park, at Maryland. And if I would have did the cinematic finales, this would have been one of the first games of the cinematic finales. But we're not going to talk about previous gameplays or nothing like that. We're going to talk about what we got right now with the present. UCLA trying to go ahead and increase their win streak to 4 games right here and go ahead and keep going with the Big Ten wins. If we can get a Big Ten win again, this would be crucial. This is really a difference maker from the middle of the pack teams to contenders winning games like this. But Wayne Knight goes ahead and gets nothing right there. And really, Maryland has had all the pieces for a lot of the years. They got the DMV recruiting area. Even their quarterback's pretty good. They just ain't been able to put it all together for a long time. Nico in the pocket again. This time he's harassed. That should have been intercepted by the defensive tackle. They probably ain't even expect him to do that. But hold on. We definitely got to be on edge right now. Third down. The stadium pulse is rocking right now at College Park. Nico in the pocket again. Finds his... that's intercepted again by the same person. Number 24 again. Go get another interception. What is Nico doing? That wasn't on target at all. Number 24 is having a career day against Nico. 2 interceptions. That's enough for a whole season's worth against Nico right now. But we get the ball back. Maryland wasn't able to do nothing on offense. We probably going to play this game in the second half. The full game in the second half because this game looks like it's going to get real close. I told y'all this was a potential trap game at College Park right here. We go ahead and we get harassed again. I'm not going to lie. This Maryland defense is definitely making us think for sure. This might be the toughest test we done faced so far in the early season, but we go ahead, run game with Wayne Knight. We go ahead and get nothing right here. It's going to be another 3rd and long. We got to stay away from 3rd and 9 opportunities. We got to make it at least 3rd and 4, 3rd and 3 or something. We ain't getting no yards in the early downs. Nico again in the pocket. This time the short cross works right there. I think I need to favorite that play. That play's definitely done bailed me out a couple times now. But let's go ahead. 7-7 right here. We want to go ahead and score before the half. Nico leading the charge offensively. Can he go ahead but get back from them 2 interceptions and get it together? Y'all know the problem with Nico is he's inconsistent as hell. Sometimes he might have games like that Purdue game, and sometimes he might have games like this. But on the road, we cannot have games like this. We do the read option, and that's not enough for a first down. 30 inches right here. I would do the quarterback sneak, but the quarterback sneak is really not that easy this year. That timing thing, I really thought it looked actually easy in the previews, but it's actually not easy to do in real life. Mikey Matthews, deep shot right there, number 24. We finally get back on number 24. Let the band play Bruins. Mikey Matthews takes it to the crib. 24 finally gets burnt in coverage. He had them 2 interceptions. It was only a matter of time until we finally got our get back against number 24. Mikey Matthews to the crib. Nico on target right there. And that was going to be 14-7. We up by a touchdown right here. Hopefully our defense can handle business on that side of the ball. I think after halftime I'm going to play the full game, and our defense has been handling business for sure. But if we can get a touchdown right here, even though we had our own 5, we could really go ahead and get some separation between us and Maryland. But we go ahead, run the ball right here with Wayne Knight. He doesn't really do anything. I'm not going to lie. Maryland has been able to control the Wayne Knight show. Even though he got 40 yards, he's not really getting off how he usually does. But right now, into the 2-minute warning, we got to go ahead and see if we can get a touchdown right here and create some separation. Let's see if Nico cannot make any dumb mistakes right here. I really should have just ran it, but I just want to throw it right here. And Wayne Knight does all he could do to get a first down right there. I really could have just easily ran it. But Wayne Knight, I told y'all, he might be a dark horse Heisman contender. I'm not going to lie. Even with a mediocre offensive line, he's been able to put up numbers. Nico goes ahead, does the speed options, able to pick up 9 yards. And I'm really happy for the future of this team, even when we get the recruits in, because really this is a rebuild, but this is more of a retooling, because there's definitely a lot of talent on this team already, and I really don't have to do too much like the Delaware rebuild. But hold on, Wayne Knight goes ahead, gets another first down right here. We might be able to strike before the first half is over. Let's go ahead, get the ball back to the air right here. Let's see if we can find somebody in the spots. Let's see, really Mizell has damn near been the best receiver this year, but we go ahead, that's going to be incomplete. And every time UCLA and another cinematic ending founding father like Maryland match up, y'all know it's always going to be a showdown. I'm not going to lie. It's a lot of history between UCLA and Maryland, going back from college football 25 to college football 26. And really with them both being in the Big Ten, it's definitely going to be a lot of more history created further along down the line, especially the longer we play them, especially once we get into the cinematic finales this year that I definitely promised y'all. But we go ahead. Mizell gets a check down right here, goes ahead, gets another first down. I think we're going to be able to strike before the half is over. If we can make it 21-7, we can really go ahead. And even if what we do on defense might not matter as much, put the pressure off of the defense and try to go ahead and find a strike here. But we go ahead and go meet the edge rusher right here. Ely's able to get into the backfield, and we got to go ahead and bounce back from that sack right there. 2nd and 18. We got to hurry up and scramble. I might go back to this wide receiver screen, but I don't know if that shit's going to work. But they backing off, so it might work. I don't see nobody open on the wide receiver screen. I take the check down. It's going to be a 3rd and 18. We damn near just blew it right there. Let's see if we can get this first down, but we was in prime position to be able to get a score. But Maryland, and when it mattered most, they was able to get a sack, and we're able to bounce us out of field goal range. But right here, I go ahead, try to find Mizell. He picks up some yardage, 4th and 8. It's a 59-yard field goal right here, but I think I'm going to go for it. It's only 20 seconds left. I don't think they're going to be able to do anything defensively, even if we don't get it. Let's go ahead. Let's try to see if we can get this first down right here. We go to Mizell, and he's not getting that. I really should have just tried the 60-yard field goal, but I wasn't too confident in Bagani. I think we're going to go ahead and play the full game right here. Maryland is making it a game, and as promised, if they make it a game, I'm going to go ahead and play the full game. Let's go ahead. 1st and 10 right here. Back to the ground game with Wayne Knight. Hold on. He's somehow able to find some yardage out of that. They blew up the whole left side of the field. He was able to make some yardage happen after that, but he's injured a little bit. Nico's a little bit injured. That kind of explains some of the interceptions. Wayne Knight goes ahead, gets another carry. I'm liking this blocking up front on the offensive line now coming out of halftime. We definitely had to talk to them because they was definitely getting to the quarterback too much. Nico was making a lot of error-ass throws too much. And hold on right now. Nico's in the pocket getting good protection right here. He's just going to go ahead and run it. I don't want him to get hit because he's already injured and shit. One of our guards goes down, but let's go ahead. 2nd and 3. Let's go ahead. Go back to the backs cross. I really like this play in short yardage situations like this. We're going to go ahead. Nico in the pocket. He goes ahead, finds the running back, but the running back's not going to be able to make a catch right there. Let's go ahead. 3rd and 3. We might as well just run this ball right here. I think if we do a direct snap, I don't know if Wayne Knight's healthy enough to really be doing shit like that. So we're going to put Javion Thomas out there. And really, I just found out Javion Thomas is a senior. He's not even a sophomore. And we're not going to get nothing whatsoever. 4th and 4. We might have to punt this right back off to Maryland. The last 4th down attempt did not go right. So I think we're going to go ahead and see what we can do defensively. I'm going to kick this ball off to Maryland, see what they can do. I'm going to go ahead and play the full game right here. Let's get into it. This defense, I got a couple reps in that Purdue game after the end of that blowout. That's why some of them reps were important because I knew I was going to be in situations like these once we play better Big Ten opponents. And now we're going to go ahead and see if we can get a stop right here. Y'all know they got a promising quarterback, number 7. I forgot his name. Washington or whatever. He was a promising freshman quarterback last year. Missed tackle right here, and they go ahead and pick up some yardage. But yeah, he was promising last year. He returns to the Terps. He didn't take the NIL route. He ain't go to a bigger program. He returned to the Terps. So really, I ain't gonna lie. This year, I think the Terps might be better than a lot of people expect. I'm not gonna lie. They've always been kind of mediocre, and it's really hard to get wins in the Big Ten. But, I think they got a lot of pieces right here. And they in the DMV. They in the perfect place to recruit. But hold on. Zaire West, the James Madison transfer, goes ahead, gets into the backfield, and he's going to be a real problem for us. And I think he's only a sophomore, so he's not gone after this year. He's definitely going to be a problem. Might become one of the best edge rushers in the game by his senior year. But hold on, a drag route right here. There's some confusion with some of whoever was defending him, and they go ahead and get a first down on that drag right here. They go ahead, hurry up, no huddle to the line of scrimmage. Let's see what Maryland can do offensively. We got to go ahead and get a stop right here. This is a crucial part of the game. We do not want to get upset. They do an RPO bubble, but Barkdale goes ahead and is able to get into the backfield. 2nd and 13 right here. Now that we got a little break in the action, I can kind of explain the cinematic endings or the cinematic finales idea. So pretty much after my reign of terror with Tulane, when I started making content for College Football 25, Tulane probably had like 8-10 national championships, probably just as much or more as Delaware. I got bored with the game, so I just started adding more user teams. Any team that I really like. They go, hold on, wait a second, we got some action. Fleming goes ahead, catches a pass right here, gets it all the way to the 10, all the way to the 12. And while I'm talking about trying to explain to y'all the cinematic finales and why Maryland and UCLA are founding fathers, and they go ahead and get a strike right here. Maryland's not going nowhere in this game. I told y'all Maryland's an underrated team, underrated atmosphere right here. Maryland again in the pocket, slant route right here to the crib. Let the band play Terps. The Terps are going nowhere. I'm trying to explain the Founding Fathers concept, and they going ahead and showing why they became a Founding Father. Maryland, touchdown right here. Let the band play Terps. I'm not going to lie. They do got a grade A mascot right there. I always respected Maryland, but that goes into what I was explaining. So pretty much, I got tired of the Tulane reign of dominance, so I wanted to spice things up in the Dynasty. So instead of creating a whole new Dynasty for another teams, I went ahead and added all the teams that I had a liking to. I added my favorite teams. So it was Tulane, UCLA, South Carolina, BYU, Coastal Carolina, East Carolina, Fresno State, and I don't think it's anybody else besides those but besides all of them. But Landon Ellis goes up and makes a catch. I didn't think he was going to be able to come down with that pass. UCLA's back in it, back in the red zone right now. This game's getting real interesting right now. But y'all understand the concept with cinematic endings right there. That was the original Founding Fathers. And then Delaware got added to that mix because I had made a whole rebuild with them. So they're going to be a Founding Father whenever I make the cinematic finales. But y'all understand the teams that were added to the cinematic endings originally. Y'all could say Western Kentucky was a Founding Father, but they got added in after I added those original teams. Those were the actual Founding Fathers. Western Kentucky kind of got added in after all of that. But now that I'm doing the cinematic finales, I'm going to go ahead, and when I actually do the cinematic finales, I'm going to go ahead and put all the teams that y'all voted in when I did the polls a long time ago. So I'm going to go ahead, put in Minnesota like I was supposed to. I'm going to put in UCF like I'm supposed to with the Founding Fathers, and then I'm going to go ahead and put in Ole Miss like they were supposed to because I went ahead and put them in myself. Those were the teams that were supposed to be there, and it really creates a lot more storylines after a team's reign of dominance because, like, after Tulane and Delaware winning every national championship, it wasn't as fun, and it wasn't as many storylines I could say, but when we got the cinematic finales, it's going to be lit. But hold on, a check down right here to Landon Ellis. First down right here. UCLA trying to get in prime position to get a score right here. And with UCLA, I think they definitely going to have a prime of dominance even faster than Tulane or Delaware had. Because even with Tulane or Delaware, I had to move them out their conference. I had to move them out the American. And I had to move them out of Conference USA and eventually into bigger conferences like the SEC and the ACC. And we was able to finally have real success. So I had to go ahead and do all them years of really rebuilding this team. But UCLA, we already in the Big Ten. Already got a good NIL budget, so I think that the prime of dominance will be very fast, so we'll probably get into cinematic finales faster and really give y'all an in-depth cinematic finales that I was really supposed to give y'all with College Football 26, but now I got the time in College Football 27, but it's going to be incomplete. It's going to be 4th and 5. I think I'm going to just go ahead and take this field goal right here. The Bruins, we definitely did not want to take this field goal right here because we didn't want to go ahead and drop back onto offense, but we're going to go ahead and take a field goal right here. And speaking of another Founding Father, South Carolina getting an upset on the road against Alabama, but that's really what made it fun. It's so much storyline, and really with the NIL, it's going to be even funner because, like, all the mixtape players that I had, they probably would have been asking for a crazy amount of NIL in this new era in College Football 27. Imagine if we had Joker Dunham on the squad for UCLA as the quarterback, the Heisman winning quarterback that really carried UCLA to their first real national championship in the cinematic innings. Or imagine if we had him. Imagine what the NIL he would have been asking for after that crazy year he done had. He was damn near able to win a national championship when Tulane had a reign of dominance. But right now, let's go ahead. UCLA in Maryland. We got to go ahead and get a stop right here. Only a minute left in the third quarter. He's sitting in the pocket right here. Just takes a check down. This time we don't miss no tackles. This time we finally wrap up and go ahead and don't allow him to get any yards after catch. But let's go ahead. 2nd and 5 right here. I want to go ahead and limit. I think they want to go to the run game or the short route game. I'm not with that. I'm not with none of that. We got to go ahead and make this quarterback think he's still a young quarterback. Missed tackle right here, and that leads to a first down. Terps are not going nowhere. We really need this win. Before we face off against Oregon, we definitely need to be undefeated, so we cannot afford a loss right here at Maryland. But let's go ahead. They motioned one of their receivers. They wanted to go to the bubble, but we go ahead and get to the quarterback. See, we got to make him think a little bit more. We got to go ahead and create some more pressure. Cole Martin right there, one of the strong safeties, goes ahead, gets out of the safety position, goes ahead and becomes a free rusher right there. But 2nd and 10 right here, I want to create more pressure against this quarterback, this young young quarterback definitely needs to make some mistakes. He definitely talented, but he can make some mistakes right here. It's not going to be easy to make some mistakes when you got somebody just wide open in the streak right here. We got to go ahead and get it together. I need to make some adjustments. Y'all know I don't think I played enough defense in that Purdue game, even though it was a blowout. We got to go ahead and get adjusted because that Oregon game is probably going to be a close game, and we got to go ahead and play some defense if it's going to be a close game. Fleming gets a catch right here, only gets 1 yard, 2nd and 9. Let's go ahead. Let's see if we can create some more pressure, though. Let's see. I did like that one blitz where we had one of the safeties come down, and I think I'm going to do that right there. Pleasant, one of the fastest cornerbacks in the game. We really could play him with any receiver, really, because he has 99 speed. He's literally the fastest cornerback in the game. We go ahead. They try to do an RPO screen, and I think that's going to be the last play of the third quarter. Put the foes up, big foes up. We got to get out of College Park. We got to get out of this snake pit environment with a W before the Oregon game for sure. But they're going to get one play off on a third down before the fourth quarter. They take a check down, and that's not going to be enough for a first down. It's going to be a decision. But that decision is going to be made in the fourth quarter. We go ahead. That's the end of the third quarter. Put the foes up. We got to get out of this environment with a win. Let's go ahead. They had nothing going in the rushing yards, which is crazy. -3 rushing yards. They only got anything going in the passing game. But we got to go ahead and go and lock down on them tight ends. Them tight ends for them is definitely making a difference. And they going to take the scary route. They're not going to take the 4th and inches. I would have went for it for sure. They going to just take this field goal right here, and that's going to tie up this game. Let the band play for the Terps. I think that was a little scary. I would have went for it, even though they are in field goal range. But the 4th and inches, you got to put a head on a hat. You got to play Big Ten football for sure. But they go ahead, going to kick the ball back off to us. We got to go ahead. I'll take the field goal instead of a touchdown any day. But let's go ahead, get this UCLA offense back out there. They've been itching to get another play. They've been starting to get it together more and more as this game progressed. Samaj Morgan goes ahead, gets the punt return. And I'm not going to lie, Samaj Morgan, they got him from Michigan. So when we play Michigan, even though he's the wide receiver 4 or wide receiver 5, he got to get into the game. He got to get some receptions. I really want him to get a touchdown against his former team. Landon Ellis goes ahead, gets the RPO bubble right here. Let's go ahead. We need a nice drive right here that wastes a good amount of time. We want to go ahead and waste all the time right here, get a touchdown right here, and don't give Maryland enough time to really do anything. Javion Thomas goes ahead, speed bursts his way for a first down right here. It's good to see that even when Wayne Knight goes down and he's kind of injured, we got backup running backs is able to go ahead and take care of business running the ball just as Wayne Knight does. But nobody's going to be able to replace the production of Wayne Knight. We just need somebody to be able to sustain it. But Nico just goes ahead and thinks he could dive, but he goes ahead and gets a first down. He's a little bit injured too. I don't need to be doing shit like that. I should have just slid, but he went airborne. He just went ahead and did his best Superman impression, and we're going to go ahead and do a play action right here. He's a little injured. Let's go ahead and see if we can get some protection right here. I'm going to just take a check down. I ain't see nothing right here, and I really don't want to risk getting Nico injured running the ball again, because I'm not going to lie, our backup, he's a 73 overall. If Nico comes out the game, it might be Rice. Wayne Knight goes ahead, gets a carry right here all the way for another first down. Now he's a little bit well rested after he had to go ahead and take a breather right here. Javion Thomas was able to do the rest of the heavy lifting. But let's go ahead, sit in the pocket. I do a halfback screen, get a couple blockers right there, and go ahead, just pick up some more yards. And I'm not going to lie, I think we starting to go ahead. This Terps defense, even though they was able to get to the quarterback a lot in the early stages of this game, I ain't really think they been able to get to the quarterback. As the game progressed, Mizell goes ahead, gets another first down. It's going to be a 1st and goal. We definitely in striker position right here. Mizell goes ahead, gets another first down. Mizell is really being the best receiver on this Bruins roster so far. I'm not going to lie, even though out of the slot, he's been very productive. I'm not going to lie, that Purdue game definitely showed that. Javion Thomas goes ahead, gets the halfback direct snap. And I'm not going to lie, this team definitely has a good amount of seniors or players that might potentially leave. So this team might look really different next year. I'm not going to lie, we might have to really go into the transfer portal bag to get a backup, another quarterback if Nico decides to go to the draft. We go ahead and throw a floater. Luckily, that Maryland cornerback wasn't looking, or that could have been easily picked off. 3rd and goal. I do not want to settle for a field goal right here. I want a touchdown. I'm going to do the slide angle right here. We played around it on first 2 plays. In the pocket again. Nico goes ahead and gets harassed again. We might have to settle for a field goal, and that might be a little scary because Maryland can win this game with a touchdown. That's not the situation I wanted to be in, especially after that strike strike of a pass to Mizell, but we settled for a field goal right here after coming up short at the end zone right there. But Maryland, we got to go ahead and get a stop. UCLA defense has been playing pretty good as this game progressed, as I got used to it. So I think we can get a stop right here. You know, it just take a little bit of adjustment for me to get good on defense, but let's go ahead, get some more pressure. I like how we was able to do it right here, but this is a crucial stop right here. Maryland got a lot of momentum coming into this drive right here. They was able to stop us to only get a field goal. Let's see what they do. Let's see how we adjust. They go ahead with the run game, and that's blown up right there. I think that's one of the freshmen, Maxwell Roy. He's definitely a high-rated freshman, and he definitely going to be in a Bruins uniform for a long time. All of his career, we trying to go ahead, make sure he get the NIL he needs because he's already a high-rated defensive tackle as a freshman. They go ahead, check down right here. 3rd and 4. This is critical right here. Let's see if we can get a stop. Let's see, even with 3 timeouts, if we get a stop right here, they might actually kick it off to us because, you know, the AI, they be trying to be a little scary. But 3rd and 4 right here. Let's see what they do. They go ahead, hike the ball off. Let's see if we get to the quarterback, Zaire West. I told y'all, he's on his way to being one of the best edge rushers. But they're going to go ahead and roll the dice. They're going for it. And this is the ball game right here. If they don't get it, it's about over. 4th and 12. If I was in their situation, they could really punt the ball off. They don't really have to go for this 4th and 12, but they hurry up to the line of scrimmage. I'll go ahead, drop one more defender in the pocket again. Nobody's open. Goes ahead, takes the check down, and that's incomplete. Bruins go ahead, take over on downs. They still got all 3 timeouts, but we already in field goal range right here, and we could really get a touchdown and end this game and get out of College Park with a victory. Go ahead and go to Autzen Stadium 4-0, undefeated with a victory right here at College Park and already 2-0 in Big Ten play. We go ahead, halfback draw right here, and he just has a pathway. Javion Thomas goes ahead, makes a man miss. They got to waste one more timeout right here, but it's looking clear that the Bruins might be getting out of College Park with a victory in a collision course between 2 of the founding fathers of the cinematic endings, and the cinematic finales is on its way back after we go ahead and show y'all these Bruins dominance. But we got to go ahead and handle business right here. Got to try to go ahead and get another win in the Big Ten right here. We go ahead. It's a 2-minute warning. Trying to run the ball a couple more times and get out of College Park with a victory. 2nd and 7. Well, let's see if we can go ahead and get Wayne Knight back in the game. I know he's been injured a little bit, but he has to be the one that closes out this game against Maryland. Let's see what we do. Let's see what we call up. I'm going to do the halfback direct snap again. Thomas is back out there. Let's see if he can have some more success with the direct snap. He goes ahead, and he's not going to get nothing. Maryland uses their 2nd timeout. They're trying to see if they can hold us to a field goal and go ahead and try to get the ball back. That's not in our plans whatsoever, so we might have to put this ball in the air. So we might go ahead and do the shallow cross right here. 3rd and 7. We don't want to give Maryland the ball again. We go ahead and find Mizell right here. Does he have enough for a first down? He does. He barely got enough for a first down, and that might seal it. I think we could really just kneel it if we want to, but I think I might go ahead and go for the touchdown. Maryland has no timeouts, so it probably don't matter anyway, but let's go ahead and get a touchdown and finish this game off. We don't want Maryland trying to come back. Javion Thomas gets the handoff, and this time we actually don't go nowhere. We went ahead and waste some of the time in this possession. It's only 7-6, 5-4. We go ahead and waste a hell of time right here, and it's going to be another 3rd down. I'm going to waste some more time, actually. It's really going to be petty and just get the touchdown, but we want to go ahead and play it safe. Let's go ahead and just kneel it, get out of Maryland with a dub, get out of College Park with a dub. We're going 4-0 into this game at Autzen. Y'all know Oregon is still ranked. Y'all know they still going to be a challenge for sure. That's really going to be our first real test, but this was a real test too. I'm not going to lie. We already a little bit battle tested going into this Oregon game, so I like our chances. Mizell is really showing up. Nico really showing up when he needs to, even though he's really kind of turnover prone and maybe a little injury prone, but he definitely shows up when he needs to. In this founding fathers collision, we go ahead and be the more victorious founding father. UCLA goes ahead, gets a win right here. 4-0 to start off the episodes. This rebuild is already looking successful, but let's see what we have in store for us at Autzen Stadium. Let's go.